So welcome to the third installment of Wing It with Anna, or as it has been affectionately come to know, WIWA. This is what we are calling our swirls and stripes, and I want to firstly give a huge shout out to somebody that I fangirl over quite a bit. Her name is Meg Epps. She runs Lyndly Grove. I will leave all of the links in the description. She's actually got some kind of affiliation with CCDIY now, but I'm not entirely sure what the details of that are. I just know that she's affiliated with them. So she has blown up and become quite famous, and I'm very proud. Now, Meg was one of the first people to ever give me the time of day when I started tumblers. She's over in America, I think in North Carolina. But if I got that wrong, I do apologize, Meg. But I will leave all of her links in the description. What she makes and the creativity that comes from this woman is second to none. I still to this day have never met anybody that inspires me the way that Meg does with her creations, especially like her resin pours. She does coasters and trinket trays and Ouija boards and stuff like that, and my word, some of the things that she creates, definitely go and check out, if nothing else, go and check out her Instagram just for some visual porn, for lack of a better word. Craft porn, that's what her Instagram is. But this is her cup. It does not have her watermark on it. I did steal it off her Instagram. She knows full well that we are doing this cup as the next installment of WIWA. I added her into Anna's Kiss My Art by Anna group so that she could watch Anna attempt it live, and I will also send her the link to this video so she can watch it as well and give me feedback. But I absolutely love Meg. She is a beautiful person. She makes beautiful creations, and this is her cup. Now, as you can see, she's got two different sizes of swirls that come in this direction, and she's also got two different sizes one, two, three different sizes when it comes to the horizontal stripes. I am going to do my very best to recreate the swirls and stripes look. The swirls, I'm going to use glitter. The stripes, I'm going to use glow-in-the-dark powders. And I think Anna said that she's going to do the V. So she's going to have a V coming up both sides of the cup, and then in the space between the two lines of the V, she's going to do her horizontal lines. So this is the inspiration pic we are using. Please make sure you check out Lyndly Grove, especially on Instagram, but I will leave her Instagram and her Facebook links in the description, and let's get started. Okay, so for this Wing It with Anna, we are again using a 20-ounce straight skinny. Now, straight skinny cups are the easiest to work with, especially in the beginning when you're new to doing tumblers. For doing designs like this that require you to have a bit of asymmetrical pattern, simply because they do go straight up and down and there isn't any tapers or anything, any curves that you have to deal with, which is why I use the majority of these. That and the fact that a 20-ounce skinny is my favorite style of cup for my own personal use. So I have already gone ahead and prepped my cup, and when I say prepped my cup, I mean I sanded it, I washed it and let it dry, and then I've spray painted it a base white. Now you can spray paint yours any base color that you like, especially if you're going to be using chameleons. I recommend you base spray black. But because I'm going to be using glitters and glow powders on mine, I've gone with a white base. You will also need double-sided tape is how I'm going to do mine, because then I know that my lines are going to be nice and straight. I just use the multi-packs that you get from Spotlight, and for this project we're going to use the 18mm, the 12mm and the 6mm. Okay. So the first thing that we want to do is I'm going to do mine more like the original inspiration picture rather than the V that Anna did. So I'm going to use 12mm tape to do my vertical swirls, and then I'm going to use all 3 sizes to fill in with my horizontal lines. Okay, so to do that, now usually especially with drink bottles or PVC pipe that's a little bit longer than this one, the way that I figure out how to get my swirls nice and even, and you're about to see a little video pop up the top here on how to achieve a perfect glitter swirl. Same idea with my bottle attachments, because I use Chelsea Blue design ones. I have CBD on one side, and on the other side I have the size. So when that's on the bottle, I usually wrap from one around to the other, and I use that as my guide. Now when I'm using her inserts, and this is her 20-ounce skinny insert, all PVC piping has writing on it. Okay, so I usually go from writing to the other side, which is what we're going to try and do today. Now because this pole is so short, I am, if you can see, it's spray painted over, but I've already marked it. Okay, so we're going to go from there around to the other side. Now to make sure that I'm not putting double-sided tape down on a cup only to have to remove it again because I made a mistake, the first line that I always put down is with painter's tape, and then we can put the next line next to it, peel off the painter's tape, and go from there. Okay, so I want to start from here, and I'm going to wrap my tape around to there. Now that is one side to the other side is our swirl. Okay, I don't want it going the right way round, because then that's going to throw off when we have our lines. But once we build this up a couple of sides, we're going to have 2 distinct parts that we can fill in with our vertical lines. Anybody can hear the rain in the background? It's been raining here for weeks. Okay, so I'm going to go with my 12mm, I think. Okay, so using my 12mm double-sided tape, now that I've got my line, I'm going to line my double-sided tape up with my painter's tape. Sorry. Okay, and now that our first stripe is on, I'm going to take that off. Now I'm going to go ahead and speed up this next part, and I will be back when I've got my swirl lines on and we're ready to do the verticals. Okay, so I have, if you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines that go around in my first swirl. Now to create my second swirl, I want to go 1, 2, 3 is the middle, obviously, of 5, right? I want to go up, if you can stay in frame. How are we going to do it? We'll do it this way, right? So here's my third one here, going directly up is where I'm going to start my swirl, and we're going to go that way. Okay, so still keeping with the 12mm tape and going by eye. That's the middle, and we're going to follow the same curve pattern around. And that should bring me to the middle of the third one here. Okay. So now that I have my stripe on, I'm going to do 2 more on each side, and then we're going to have our swirls done. Okay, so we've got our swirls done. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to come up before we start putting colour on it, but I'm going to attempt to do it anyway. The space between these two parts is absolutely perfect and goes in a way that I'm really happy with. For some reason, on the other side of the cup, it goes nice and then it peters down into a skinnier bit down the bottom. So it's these stripes here probably should have come down more like this, but this cup isn't for anybody in particular. It is a wing it cup. I have done many vertical designs and many horizontal designs with double-sided tape before, including my plaid cups, but I've never tried to do swirls and stripes. So this is new for me as well, and I'm not going to stress about it too much because it's still relatively even to the naked eye. It's just because I am slightly OCD with my lines on tumblers does it come to my attention. But I'm going to mention that now just in case we get to glittering and putting the glow powder on and you go, girl, it's just not right. Yeah, no, I'm fully aware of that. Okay, but because it's not for a customer, I'm not going to stress about it too much, and I'm definitely not going to try and rip up my double-sided tape because that will probably result in me needing to respray. So we are going to move on to the vertical lines. Okay, so as I already mentioned, for this part we are using the 3 different sizes. The pattern that I'm going to use is I'm going to go the 18mm, then the 6, then the 12, then back to the 18, the whole way up. You will also need a scalpel or a craft knife for this bit as well, because when you put the tape on you will be cutting it to fit. Okay, so we're going to start with the 18mm at the bottom. Okay, now you can tell where the double-sided tape underneath is by running your nail along it. If you have nails or your craft knife. Can you see that indentation? Probably not because of the lighting in here. Let's move that down a little bit. See along here? So, this is where we're going to cut. And then the same again on this side. I'm going to push a little bit deeper this time. Maybe not that deep. That's okay. I just pulled up. Okay, so deeper than this side, but not as deep as that. We're going to double coat this anyway. It's going to need double coating because it's on a white base. Alright, so what did I say? We're going to go 18, then 6, then 12, didn't I? 6, and now the 12. I'll go from this side just because it's already cut at an angle. Nope, that's not going to work. See, it doesn't quite cut deep enough. Okay. So we have the 18, and then the 6, and then the 12. I'm going to go ahead and do that all the way up this side and the other side of the cup, and then I will be back with the next step. Okay, so I've finished putting all of my double-sided tape on. We've got our swirls on each side, and then in between I've put my vertical lines. Okay. Now I was going to go 18 then 12 then 6, or 18 then 6 then 12, sorry, which is what I did here. 18, 6 then 12, and then I decided that instead of using glow powders exclusively, I'm going to make the 6mm lines black glitter. Okay, so now it goes in a pattern of 18, 6, 12, 18, 12, 6, 18, 12, 6, 12, 18, 12, 6, 18. Okay, so you will see once it's all done, it's all different thicknesses, but if you can see there, right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lines on each side that are going to be black glitter, and then the rest will be alternating glow powder colors. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. Now the swirls are going to be glitter, and then the stripes, except for the thin 6mm stripes, all the stripes are going to be glow powders. So the 5 glitters that I've selected are all from the DJ Designs Monster range. Okay, we've got Miss Squibbles, James P. Sullivan, Fungus, Mike, and Don Carlton, because you can't have Miss Squibbles without Don Carlton. Okay, the glitter that I'm going to be using on the 6mm lines is Sparkling Night Sky. It is number 121 from Pink and Purple Monkey over in Texas. And then the glow powders that I'm going to use, which kind of match up to 4 of the glitters, I'm going with Green Apple, Sunshine, Lavender, and Flamingo. And these are all the Colour to Colour glow powders from Kiss My Art by Anna. So the first thing that I'm going to do is move all these out of the way. First thing I'm going to do is go through and do 2 coats of my black lines. Black glitter is notorious for getting everywhere. So I'm going to do all of my black glitter first. I'm going to do 2 coats, and then I'm going to spray seal it, and then we're going to go through and do everything else. Okay. So, the first thing I need to do is get a drop sheet. A little bit of forethought goes a long way, doesn't it? Okay. Okay, now we're good. Move my stand. You just peel off that top layer of double-sided tape. So there's 1, 2, 3. It's got no nails at the moment. 4. And if you've got no nails like me and you're not a glutton for punishment like I am, you can also use tweezers. Okay, and then on this side, it's 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the only reason that I decided on doing black after all is because it does give a look like the serape cups. and it's just gonna split those glows up just a little bit and add a little bit more dimension. I'm trying to put these in the bin, and the static is sticking. Okay, so with my Sparkling Night Sky, and this is a black that has, nope, it's just going to pick up the lights from my camera. There we go. Just a slight hollow. It's not a super bright. She did another one that I've got called Onyx, and that has a really high, I don't want to say high quality because all of her glitters are fantastic. It's got more of a rainbow hollow, like it's not as subtle as what's in Sparkling Night Sky, which is why we're going with this, because I want it to be sparkly, but I don't want it to overtake from the glow powders either. Okay, I'm going to smush it in because it helps it to stick. My brush, get rid of all of the excess. We have our 4 black lines. So now I'll do the other side. Okay guys, I looked up to realize that my camera had frozen, as it does. Unfortunately this time I didn't notice in time, and you did miss a little bit. You missed me finishing off all of the dry brushing. Okay, so it was all pretty like, and then I realized that there is still some, now that it's all dry brushed, there was still some spots where I could see the white cup from underneath. So I decided to do a second coat tonight of all of the black so that I can spray seal it tomorrow and we can move on to the next part. So I have done this stripe here with a second coat already. That is when I looked up and realized that my camera had frozen. Going back and watching the replay, it froze while I was dry brushing. So I'm just catching you up. Basically what I've done is gotten my dishwasher safe Mod Podge. I'm going to apply Mod Podge to the stripe. Not super thick, but not so thin that it's not going to stick either. Okay, especially against a black glitter, you're going to be able to see the white Mod Podge. Okay. Like that. And then with my glitter, we have I don't want to dry brush it too much because the Mod Podge is still drying. I don't want Mod Podge on my dusting brush, but that is now the second coat. Now I'm not sure if you can see, I can, there is still white coming up, whereas this one's now a nice solid black. Okay, so I'm going to go through and finish that with the 2 stripes on this side and the 4 stripes on this side. I'm going to let that dry overnight, and then we'll be back to finish the next part. We're back. Okay, so all of this is now dry. It's got 2 coats on it. I haven't spray sealed it yet. I have given it a really good dry brushing in the hopes to remove all of these little bits that I'm now seeing. Okay, now we should be good. I have given it a really good dry brushing. I was going to spray seal it before I did this section, but it is still raining. So we are just going to go ahead and do the glitter swirls, not stripes, swirls. And then once all the glitter has been double coated and that is dry, I'm going to spray seal it then to seal in all the glitter, and then we'll move on to the glow powders. Okay, so remembering that we've got our 5 lines and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the order that I'm going to go in. And these are all from the Monster collection from DJ Designs. So starting here, that one, and the first one on this side is going to be our blue. Which is our James P. Sullivan. Now this is a mix. It's got the fine glitter, the 1mm glitters, and the big chunky 2.5mm in it, which is why this will need 2 coats as well. But that is our first swirl. Now I have used this Monsters collection once before. I used the blue. There is another pink, the not Mr. Squibbles. It is Squishy. I've used Squishy and I've used Mike, which is obviously the green one. So I am excited to be showing off some of the other colours. I'm just going to smush all of our chunky bits flat. Then we'll do the other side. Now I'm going to put the first coats of the glitters on film. Okay, you saw me do the second coat of the black glitter. You know that it just involves drawing a line of Mod Podge. The reason why I don't want to do the second coats on film is because I don't like doubling up where there's wet Mod Podge, especially in an intricate design like this where you want like your proper straight clean lines, because if I go putting Mod Podge on here and more glitter on here and then putting Mod Podge on the next stripe, it's going to cause cross-contamination, and I don't like cross-contamination. Especially, I mean, doing it this way, it's okay if a little bit of glitter goes on parts that we haven't yet peeled up, because as soon as I lift up that coating on the double-sided tape, anything that's stuck on the paper is going to come with the paper when we peel it off. once that paper comes up, you've got to be super, super careful. So you won't see me do any of the second coats on screen. We're just going to finish doing the stripes. And I will do, maybe go back with Sully and do the second coat of Sully on screen, and then the rest of it will be done off screen, simply because that's a lot of starting and stopping and setting up for filming, because obviously when I do the second coat for the blue, I'm going to have to wait until that's completely dry to then go back and do the second coat of the next color, and so on and so forth. So it's probably going to take me a day or two to do the second coats. And that's just boring for you guys. Okay, so the second color we're using is Miss Squibbles. Oh, hang on, I've got to take it off on this side as well. Smush it all down. Ta-da! That's a really cute pink. It's not a true pink, it's like a peachy pink. That's rather cute. Oh no, I've got pink. There we go. And obviously when I'm trying to apply my glitter, I'm trying to apply it in the direction so that as it's falling off the cup, it's falling off towards the bits that we haven't yet peeled off, and not that way so that it's falling into what we've already done. I had a little... my little stand from DJ and Raw. I really should be taking the lids off my shakers when I pour back into the shaker. That would probably make my life a lot easier. But I've found, especially lately, a lot of my shakers, once the lids go on, the lids don't come back off unless you're quite heavy-handed. So to prevent me trying to take the lid off and potentially spilling glitter everywhere on film, I'm just going to pour it through. Okay, so this is our Fungus, which is like our, it's not even a true orange, it's like a rock melon colour. This is going to be our middle stripe, swirl, sorry. We're doing our swirls, not our stripes. Smush it down. Okay, so I did get a little bit of cross contamination. If you can see, there's a little bit of pink in the blue and a little bit of orange in the pink, but thankfully it's not like the little fine bits that have crossed over. It's the big chunky opal bits. So I'm just gonna go. Aren't they gorgeous colours? Danielle has a Galaxy range as well, and her Galaxy range is one of my favourite collections that I have in my collection. And originally I was going to use them on this cup, and then I changed my mind because I'm a woman, it's my prerogative. I changed my mind to the Monsters collection, only because I have shown off some of her Galaxy collection in different videos and different lives, and just like customer order pics and stuff like that that I've posted in the ATM group, but I've never shown off her monster range, and her monster range working really nicely with Anna's glow powders from Kiss My Art by Anna. But DJ Designs is the company. All of the links will be in the description as always. Definitely check out her so I'm just noticing that there's a line here that didn't get covered, but I'm trying to figure out if it's because the paper didn't pull up. Yeah, sorry, distracted. Check out her Galaxy range on the website as well. I will leave a link in the description. Nothing I can do about it now. It's almost like the papers, when I've gone to peel off the top layer, there's just a tiny little bit there where the paper hasn't come up. But we're about to see. What are we up to? Don Carlton. The weather's not as bad today, guys, but it's still miserable. They are forecasting really bad weather over the weekend. So he's hoping it doesn't get too bad. Okay, and I forgot to peel this side. I just realised you can see I've got Cadbury Easter eggs there that I was munching on last night. Uh-oh, busted. I have to keep all of like the treats that I buy myself. All of my chocolate and my lollies and my chocky bickies and stuff like that. It's all got to be hidden in my craft room because my daughter especially has a nose like a bloodhound. And she will sniff that out. Doesn't matter what cupboard, what drawer, where in the house. I've even tried like in my wardrobe and in my underwear drawer. Nope, she still finds it. But she knows she's not allowed to come in here without permission. And she doesn't come in here unless I'm in here. So if she tries to pinch anything, I'm already in here to see it. Anybody else? Like people, and you see the memes on like TikTok and Facebook and stuff all the times of the mums like in their walk-in pantries eating all the stuff that they don't want to share with their kids. That's real life, man. That's not a joke. For a lot of us, that is real life. Okay, so we've only got Mike was. Oh no, we can't say the full name. We've only got Mikey to go. I'm quite happy with my colour choices. I will say now that they're on the cup, they look magnificent. And now this was the side where we ripped it. We're going to have to go through when we do our Mod Podge and fix it up. If you can see just that little corner there, there was nothing there for the glitter to stick to. Same as here. I've got, try and move it up. See just that little triangle? So coming this way, that's going to have to be Mod Podged for the glitter, and then that tiny little section will be glow powder. The tape just didn't quite make it. Alright Mike, let's finish this off. If it didn't have the colours on it, and it was just black and white, it'd have a real Beetlejuice feel about it. So that's an idea. I mean, we're only in March, still a while away from Halloween, but I does love Halloween. There's our mic. And that is our swirls. Oh, that's folded. We don't want that to fold. Okay. So now I'm not going to bother doing second coats on film. But basically all I'm going to go and do now, between now and when I hit record again, is get my Mod Podge and a brush and do line by line. I'm going to do the blues first, put my Mod Podge as steadily as I can. I'm going to put my Mod Podge on my blue, both my blue stripes, put more of the James P. Sullivan down, smush it all down, wait for that to dry completely, give it a good dry brush, make sure that I've got no little loose bits of the blue, and once that's completely dry and brushed down, I will then move on to our Miss Squibbles. And from there, every colour I will wait until it is completely dry before moving on to the next colour, and once they're all done, I'm going to give them a good spray seal with, at the moment I'm using Rust-Oleum 2 times in the satin. I do prefer the satin over the gloss. I have used the gloss before when my local Bunnings didn't have the satin in stock. But if you can't get Rust-Oleum, and I've seen this asked, especially in Aussie Tumbler Makers quite a lot recently, Bunnings is going to stop stocking Rust-Oleum in the very near future. So alternatives to using Rust-Oleum spray paint would be the Australian export paint that you can get from Supercheap. Anna from Kiss My Art by Anna has also recently found the Dulux one from Mida 10, also works really well. In regards to clear spray seal, White Knight does one. It's a white can with green writing. It is not the Squirts brand. It's not White Knight Squirts. It's just White Knight clear acrylic spray. That works really well. Otherwise, the Krylon Crystal from Spotlight is a little bit more expensive, but that works really well as well. So we're going to spray seal this, and then once it's all spray sealed, we're not going to have glitter going into our glow powders. I will be back to fill in our lines. So we've got our swirls, and now all we've got to go is our stripes. And you can see a little bit more now that we've got the colours on. Remember when I was telling you that this side is nice and thick and even, and then this side starts out alright and then kind of tapers off into a little bit of a thinner bit down the bottom. Can you see that a little bit better now? But again, it's not enough that I'm going to be super worried about it. This isn't an order for a customer. This is just me doing the Wing It video for Anna. And I will probably find somebody that loves me that I can gift this to, and they're not going to particularly care that this part and this part isn't even. But yes, I can see it, and it does bother me. So if you pick up on that, please know that I am aware of it. This is what I was trying to explain to you when we put down the double-sided tape in the beginning. So I'm going to go and do this now, and I will be back to do the glow powders. So this is our cup. Now I'm going to go through and put, I'm seriously in two minds whether I want to do more hot pink, but I am going to do one more coat of the Flamingo pink and two more coats of all of the other colors just to make them pop a little bit more, and then I will spray seal the entire cup. From there I will come back and jump back on camera, and that is where we're going to put our first coat of epoxy on, then do all of our vinyl lines, and then hopefully it'll be ready for a final coat. So I will see you guys once all of the powders have been doubled and triple coated. So here she is. She has had this fluoro pink. I did 2 coats of the powder. Obviously after the first layer went on, the first coat went on straight onto the double-sided tape. From there I used tacket to apply, so I applied the tacket, waited for it to dry, and then went in through my brush and did the same method with the dabbing on as I did with the double-sided tape. Waited for that to dry entirely, and then for all of the other coats I did do 3 coats and not 2. Once all that was done and dry, I gave it a really good dry brushing. I did get quite rough on the glitter as well, just to get out any little powders that might be stuck in the glitter mix, and then I gave it a really good spray seal. So now it's ready for its first coat of epoxy. Now you'll see as it spins, there are, like, some of the black lines aren't exactly straight, like they've lapped over a little bit. There's also, where is it, one spot coming around where I think it's the pink bled into the yellow, even though I did the yellow coats here, right where it's bled in. I'm going to be separating, after we put our first coat of epoxy on, I'm going to be separating all of the lines with some really thin lines of vinyl, just to split it up and give it a more sectioned look. Now I'm going to insert I've recorded a new resin safety disclaimer that I'm going to start using in all of my videos, just in case I forget to actually give a disclaimer in my videos. I have this to put in when we're up to the resin part. So I'm going to put in my disclaimer, and after my disclaimer I'm also going to add a little clip that I took earlier of what this looks like in the dark. Okay, so I will be back with you in just a moment. Hi guys, a quick safety disclaimer for when working with resin. Please make sure you always protect yourself by wearing eye goggles or other protective eyewear, a half-face respirator mask with interchangeable filters. I got mine from Bunnings and they also sell the replacement filters. And of course, gloves. Now I prefer to work with nitrile gloves, but in a pinch, vinyl gloves will also work. These are the 2 types that will not tear easily when working with resin. Please make sure you stay safe while you're having fun, and happy creating. Okay, so I have mixed 20 mils of epoxy. I am using a 1:1 ratio resin. So it was 10 mils of part A and 10 mils of part B. I am still using Diamond Coat from Just Resin. It is a limited food safe resin and is perfect for using on tumblers. So once this is cured, we will put our lines on and separate it all. And then she'll be ready for a final coat. Well, she'll be ready for the last coat before somebody claims it as theirs and I add the name. And then the final coat will go on. But I want to leave this unpersonalized this time because I am going to try and sell it. To get the bottom. Oh, I put more of the Fungus on the bottom as well, which I did not film, and I did forget to mention when I was telling you what I'd done off camera with the glow powders before. I did add fungus it's called, sorry, fungus to the bottom of the cup. This was just, I'm moving all over the place tonight. This was just because, for no other reason than it was the same color that was the middle stripe here. Okay, so I thought just to tie it all together, but that is what's on the bottom. And I just applied that with Mod Podge, and I only did one coat of that. And that obviously was done before I spray sealed, because I realized when I went to spray seal that I hadn't done the butt. Get rid of that bit of black glitter. Making sure, especially around the rims and the top of the cup, that we're getting nice even coverage. Okay, there we go. I'm going to hit this with a heat gun just to pop any of the little micro bubbles, let it cure overnight, and then tomorrow we'll be back and I can put the final stripes on. Alright guys, we're on the final part. We made it. She is done. Almost. We've still got the lines to go. She has got 2 coats of epoxy on her now. I did 1 coat, but it wasn't as smooth as I would like it to be. So I did a 2nd coat, and she's still not super smooth, but we're going to get away with it. I don't want to keep putting epoxy on it and delaying the upload of this video, because I did promise Anna that I'd have it up a few days ago, and we are still working on it. So here she is, and we're going to do the lines. Now I have gone with a silver mirror chrome for the lines. I'm just wondering, and I'm not even sure if it's going to work, but we're gonna find out soon enough. I'm kind of hoping, because it's like slightly reflective, that when it does glow, that the glow bounces off the vinyl stripes as well. Does that make sense? That's what we're trying. So we're going to do all of the horizontal lines first, and then we're going to go through and do the swirls, just because when I come down and do this part, it's going to cover up the edges of here rather than the other way around and have the horizontal lines overlapping the swirls. So I've gone ahead and cut probably more lines than I needed to. I was just lazy and I couldn't be bothered coming in here and counting, so I just made up a sheet of each. But we've got I can't even remember, these are 2 mil, and then I think these are 1.25, because I wanted the horizontal lines to be slightly smaller, only because we've got these skinny little black lines. Obviously the big thick 2 millimeter ones would have taken up so much that it either covered most of the black or covered most of the color that was next to the black. Okay, but I will go through and double check the measurements before I upload the video to YouTube. And if you'd like to get some of this, Tech Wrap Craft Australia does sell it. It is in their mirror chrome section on their website. I'm trying to stick that sticky side up. And this is just the silver. Go through, and then we're going to do like what we did with the double-sided tape. Maybe. Oh, I don't have my little snippy scissors. There we go. There's one. Okay. There's 2. Okay, now I need, just going to get a bit of 100 mile an hour tape. So that I've got somewhere to put all of my little off-cutty pieces. No, come back to me. There you go, that worked better, and there is the first one done. Now, I do believe that that is too short to do any other sections, so we're going to put that up there and move on to our next one. This time I know to hang it over a little bit more so that I've got something to cut. Like so. Now, cutting what is my left, cutting this section here, means that it's already tapered and I can put that straight onto the next stripe without worrying to cut that end. Okay, so that is what we've got so far. And it's starting to look more like a licorice allsort, which I was kind of hoping with the silver anyway. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and speed this up, finish doing all of the horizontal lines on both sides, and then I'll slow it back down for when we do the swirls. Alrighty, so all the horizontal lines are now done. See how putting lines on it just gives it that finishing touch that it was missing? Makes each section its own section, and it makes it stand out nice and bright and bold. So we are going to do, and I just realised that this bit isn't straight. So we're going to fix that right now. That's better. That makes me happy. Okay, so this was what I'm pretty sure was a 1.25 mil stripe, but I am going to double check that and put that in when I am editing. So we can put the little ones aside. These are definitely 2 millimeters. Now I prefer to cut my own lines when I'm doing finishing stripes like this. I prefer to cut my own out of vinyl. I do have some washi tapes, but I generally use them more for like my geometric cups and stuff, which is included in the intermediate series that I'm currently doing as a live series. So I'm not going to go too much into what I use it for, but you can use washi tape or nail tape to do your finishing stripes on your projects as well. I just personally prefer to use vinyl because then I can cut it myself to whatever thickness that I need. So we're going to start from the top and we're going to feed the stripe down so that the vinyl sits directly in the middle, like the middle of the stripe is the middle, is basically the line between the glitter and the glow powder. Now, I put scissors aside. To trim off the bottom. And there is our first stripe. Okay, I'm going to put one more on, and then I'm going to go all Speedy Gonzales for the rest of it. So lining up the middle of my vinyl with the line, whoops, I'm stuck. The line between the two colours again. And down we go. Trying to be super careful, it's not quite. There we go, that looks better. So trim the top and across the bottom. Now obviously I made these stripes way bigger than they needed to be, but like I said, I was just not coming in to do all of the measurements. I just kind of guessed how many I need and how long they'd need to be, and this is not cooperating at all. There we go. I guess you guys can finally see the bottom now too. I did in fact use one layer, one coat of the fungus. So that is how it's starting to come together. So I'm going to speed myself up to finish the rest, and then we'll be back to finish off. And she's done. Put my hand in it this way so you can see. I'm so happy with that. I'm just going to peacock for a second. But that is my interpretation of the Wing It with Anna challenge number 3, which you saw at the beginning. A very big thank you once again for Meg, for the inspiration pick, and a very big thank you to Anna for once again being a good sport and giving it a go. Hers, as I explained in the beginning, she chose to go with a V on each side, and then she filled in the V with her horizontal lines, and I tried to stick more to the traditional pattern but different colors of the swirls and stripes. So that is my swirls and stripes cup. Thank you very much all for watching. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. At the time of filming this outro, I think I'm only 4 people away from hitting my March goal, and it's the 23rd. So if you guys can help me out by getting me those 4 people in the next, how many days does March have? 8 days. I've got 8 days to get 4 people. I would really appreciate it. Otherwise, thank you so much guys, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.